Zlatan in the middle of some controversy, Atlanta getting a little fortuitous in their win, and Christian Teixeira, what are you doing? Welcome to this week's Instant Replay. With Andrew Wiebe out, I'm Bobby Warshaw, and I'm hosting this week, and I've got this guy with me, Stephen Keel.
What's up, man?
What's up?
There was a lot of stuff that went on this weekend. Luckily, I have the laws of the game right in front of me. That way, everything I say, spot on.
And for a reference point, I once saw Stephen Keel stick his studs into a player's knee for megging him, so buckle in this week. And we start in Atlanta, going to the 59th minute when referee Chico Grajeda gave a yellow card to Greg Garza for this tackle on Silva.
Bobby, for me, this is a definition of a serious foul play, endangering the safety of an opponent.
Yeah, but Steven, if you back up a second and zoom in, Garza approached the tackle with his studs down, and it was only the awkward motion of the ball rolling that made his studs come up.
I understand that, but look at this and keep zooming in. You see that his studs end up in the middle of Silva's shin. If that's not endangering the safety of a player, I'm not sure what is.
Listen, you're right. I'm fine with your shout for a red, but I'm also okay with Grajeda giving the yellow. And let's go out to StubHub Center, where once again Zlatan was in the middle of a conversation, because with the game tied 2-2, it looked like Ibrahimovic had scored the game winner for the Galaxy, but it was called back for offside.
And Bobby, if you look at the letter of the law, if you freeze frame it, you can see his torso does appear to be in an offside position. I think the referee got that right.
And every play on the field, the video assistant referee looks at, but he said it wasn't clear and obvious to actually do the full video review on the field. Steven, I would just like to see the benefit of the doubt go to the attacker on the field.
Absolutely. We want the attacking flow to be continuous and good. That is a tough decision. I am so happy that I am not Andrew Bigelow.
And the Galaxy had another reason to feel aggrieved, because in the 83rd minute, referee Alan Chapman gave a slightly beneficial call for the Red Bulls penalty.
And Bobby, this hurts my heart when I see a defender just trying to stop a cross. The ball appears to hit his left arm. Therefore, correct call from Alan Chapman, penalty.
Are you sure it hit his arm, though? Tell me you're sure.
I'm not sure about many things in life, Bobby, but I'm pretty sure from that angle, it does look like it hit his arm.
I don't know what video people are looking at to be so sure it hit his arm, but I will say if it did hit his arm, and because Romney is sliding, his arm becomes in an intentional position and the referee has to point to the spot.
And might I add, Bobby, Romney's reaction does signal that he thought it might have hit his arm too. Just want to sneak that in there.
And we moved to Toronto, where there were so many plays we tallied that we had to make extra room on our spreadsheet. And we start off in the 8th minute. Jonathan Osorio scored on the back post, but it appeared that Jovinko might have been offside in the original entry pass.
And to me, Bobby, I think he is in an offside position when Jovinko's checking back. Looks like his body is a little bit past the last defender, offside.
Now, Steven, they let this goal stand, but if we move to the 11th minute, Jovinko scored himself, but this one was called back.
And again, to me, I believe Nico Hausler was in an offside position when the ball was played.
I just don't understand the difference. Why do you let the first one stand but call back the second? They look the exact same.
And that's why I brought my rule book today, because I knew there was a lot of plays that are controversial, and I want to make sure we got these right.
And you're going to need that rule book as we move to the 35th minute when Nemanja Nikolic was brought down in the box by Ashton Morgan. Now, Steven, this was not originally called. They only gave the penalty after video review took a look.
And that's a great shout by VAR Kevin Terry. Nikolic gets there first, and Ashton Morgan swings through, clips his heel. Good call, penalty.
All right, now let's get to the meaty part of the game, because in the 69th minute, Bastian Schweinsteiger got the Chicago Fire on the board. But after the game, Greg Vanney was irate, saying that Nikolic was offside to start the play. Now, Nikolic does actually touch the ball, Steven, but is he offside?
I think we can all agree that yes, he is offside. Here's where the tricky thing comes in, is does he make a play or action toward the ball or interfere with Alex Bono's sight? For me, I believe he does. He swings his head, does not hit the ball, but he makes an action towards it.
I agree with you. Nikolic's action toward the ball throws off Bono. He interferes with the play. In my opinion, the referees missed it and the goal should have been called offside.
And we have one last play in Toronto in the 85th minute. Nemanja Nikolic was taken down in the box for a penalty, but he was deemed offside prior to that.
We are seeing a common theme in this game. If you stop the still, once again, he looks like he's onside, Steven. I don't understand how this distinguishes between the other two and why they would have allowed that first goal, considering it looks the same.
And for me, Bobby, I have to agree with you. He is not offside. The play should have been let run, and a penalty ultimately awarded to the Chicago Fire.
And let's move to Philadelphia, where Armando Villarreal did not call this penalty as CJ Sapong tugged down Steven Birnbaum in the box.
And Bobby, so many times it's a role reversal where the center backs are pulling down forwards, and this time it's opposite. Yes, if in my opinion, it does look like CJ Sapong pulled down Birnbaum. Should have been a penalty.
This was one of the 4 points of emphasis, bringing players down in the box. I'm okay with the no call because it was soft, but ultimately it was a credible PK shout by DC.
Soft, Bobby. He pulls him by the shoulder. That's a foul.
Soft. And now we've got to go to Columbus where, Stephen, I'm pretty sure we saw some voodoo.
We had some serious voodoo in the 50th minute when it appeared that Nick Lima handled the ball from a Gyasi Sardis shot. Fotis Bazakos did not agree with that and awarded a goal kick. Bobby, I've looked at this play literally 100 times. I've tried to look at the spin of the ball off Sardis' foot after hitting the hands, and I cannot say definitively, yes, it hit his hands. Therefore, I believe that the right call on the field should stand. Goal kick.
When I watched it live, I thought that it had to have hit Nick Lima. It had to have hit Nick Lima's hands. But if you slow it down, you look at the spin of the ball is not spinning rapidly as if it took a deflection. It's moving somewhat slowly, which makes me think it last touched Zardes' foot.
And also look at Zardes' reaction. If someone handballed it right on the goal line, you'd think he'd be up in arms, handball. Instead, it's a calm reaction of, I'm not quite sure. I don't even know if Zardes knows if it hit his hand.
And we have to give a ton of credit. Tough call, but it looks like Bazakos got it right. But after giving him credit, Stephen, we have to go to the 67th minute where I'm actually pretty sure he missed this PK call when Harold Cummings brings down Pedro Santos in the box.
I agree. In my opinion, it looks like Cummings clips the right leg of Pedro Santos, brings him down, penalty. Bobby, once again, I agree with you. It appears Harold Cummings does clip the leg of Pedro Santos, and for me, that is a penalty. Out to Gillette Stadium we go, where we had a really weird incident, Bobby. In the 44th minute, Teal Burnbury looks to be offside. He feels he's offside, but tucks the ball in the goal anyways.
Teal Burnbury is definitely outside, but Stephen, this ball comes off KC player Roger Espinoza, and when it comes off an opposing player, it now makes Teal Burnbury offside. Now you're going to say to yourself, but it's a deflection.
I was going to say deflection.
But this isn't a deflection. We can see here that Roger Espinoza plays the ball on purpose. He intentionally makes contact with the ball, and that is what makes Teal Burnbury onside.
Bobby, it's important to note that the second AR, Oscar Mitchell Cavallo, should have kept this flag down, because you know as a player, when you see that flag go up, you have a natural instinct to kind of stop. And it looks like everybody, even Teal Burnbury, kind of stops for a second.
Yeah, I'm with you. If I'm a KC player, I'm mad, but referees have told players in the age of video review, you must play to the whistle. The referees got this one right. And I can't believe we have to talk about another handball, yet here we are going to Yankee Stadium when referee Ismail Elfath in the 32nd minute gave NYCFC a penalty for this handball on Rito Ziegler.
And again, in my opinion, it is the correct call. Ziegler turns his back, extends his arm, it's away from his body, making it bigger. The ball hits it directly. In my opinion, a penalty.
I understand what you're saying, Stephen. I just have no idea where players, as humans with these things called arms, are supposed to put their arms sometimes. Yes, this was away from his body, but the hand is going to be away from the body sometimes.
Exactly. So now you're asking defenders, defend with your hands behind your back. As if defending wasn't hard enough as is, now you gotta defend with your hands behind your back.
But you're okay with the penalty call?
Because his arm is outside of his body, correct. Knowing the rules of the game and how things are being called, yes, when you're going to block a shot, all the time you see players defend with their hands behind their body, I think that's what you gotta do here.
If there's one thing I like talking about less than handballs, it's getting hit in the jingles, yet here we are, doing it again. We go to Colorado where Orlando City took on the Rapids, and in the 67th minute, Rapids player Declan Wynn, I don't even know what to call that.
I don't know what he does, but listen, he definitely kicks out and he definitely strikes Dom Dwyer right in the jingles, as like you said.
We need to get Sydney LaRue on the phone, hear what she thinks. Ultimately, the referee, Marcos Oliveira, only gave a yellow for this, but we're both in agreement we wish it had been red.
And listen, props to Dom Dwyer for not going down in a heap. He was angry.
If there's man rules. If there's man rules.
You kicked me like that, I would be down for about 10 minutes.
And Stephen, I'm so glad we get to go to Bank of California Stadium, the new home of LAFC, for their bout with Seattle. But there was some controversy in the 20th minute when Ozzy Alonso, already on a yellow, does this silly slide tackle.
I think silly's the right answer. That's a hard tackle. And for me, that is a yellow card offense. That should have been a second yellow card, and he should have been out.
See, I disagree. Too often we think that every foul should be a yellow. This is just a regular foul. He's a little late. He doesn't raise his boot. He doesn't go studs up. It's a normal foul. I'm perfectly fine and very happy that he was not sent off.
Not to interject, Bobby, if this foul had happened in the 85th minute, do you give him a yellow card?
It's a good question. It depends what had happened to that point, but it didn't happen. It happened in the 20th minute. Good call to not give a red. And we end the show where the weekend began in Vancouver, and we start off in the 74th minute when referee Soren Stoica called a penalty on Nick Beasler for this foul.
And Bobby, this entire time I've been so soft that everything's a foul and yellow card, but once again, This is a foul on Beasler. PK, in my opinion, right call.
Yeah, pretty clear. Well done by Storka. But we can't talk about this game without talking about Christian Teixeira. He scores to go up 1-0 on a penalty kick. But Steven, he's already on a yellow. What's he thinking?
I don't know what he's thinking. Listen, for me, I was gonna take my shirt off, make sure I get like 20 push-ups in, make sure I'm nice and jacked. But ultimately, silly decision making there from Teixeira. Easiest decision Stojan Stojka made all day.
Yeah, the second that jersey comes off, Stojka has to give the yellow, and I love how the teammates tried to surround him to hide him. Well done by Vancouver, but Teixeira, what's up, bro? And that's it for this week. We gave you some Zlatan, some Five Stripes, some whatever the heck Christian Teixeira did. Thanks for following along. As always, for next week, if you see something, say something. For Stephen Keel, our producer Paul Salazar, I'm Bobby Warshaw.
Wiebe, keeping your shirt nice and warm, pal. I got you, man.
See you next week.